Hello, my name is Scarlett, a student at the College of Wooster, and we are currently outside of the Calc building, and these stones are from the original building at the time of the infamous fire, and as you can see, they are still scorched from that fateful day. This cafe actually used to be called the original dining hall, but its name was changed to Old Main Cafe, though I haven't been able to figure out why. On December 11th, 1901, a fire broke out in what is now known as Calc, or what was called at the time, the Old Main Building, which was one of the, if not the, only academic buildings at the time. While some things were thrown out of windows and saved, many more were lost, including manuscripts, lab equipment, research done by professors, and collections of rare, priceless, and limited books. The fire was discovered by David Gill, a janitor who was living in the basement of the building and was awoken by an explosion and saw the fire in the western wing of the building. Even though he raised the alarm as soon as he could, the fire department wasn't any help due to bad water pressure and inadequate equipment. And eventually, after hours of burning, only ruins remained.
President Holden walked through the ruins of Old Main, the implications were clear. This was a disaster for the college. With the cost of rebuilding set at nearly $200,000, and with only a $60,000 insurance policy, the writing was on the wall. As President Holden said, "Yesterday I was the president of a college. Now I'm the president of a hole in the ground." President Holden worked tirelessly to solicit donations, sending letters like this one. Dear friend, at 2:30 a.m., December 11th, the entire working plant of the College of Wooster burned to the ground. In less than an hour, everything was lost. Nothing escaped the merciless destruction of the flames. The insurance money was $60,000, and our loss was $250,000, with much that money cannot replace. The productive endowment of the university is less than $200,000 and must remain untouched. Can you share the burden with us to the extent of your ability as the Lord has prospered you? Subscriptions may be sent to President L. E. Holden, Jesse McClellan, Treasurer of the University of Worcester, or to such committees as have the matter in charge of your Church of Presbytery. Remember that time is short, and what you do quickly for us will be worth much more than the amount in help securing the whole. President Holden found salvation from the most unlikely source. Andrew Carnegie, steel magnate, philanthropist, and at the time, one of the wealthiest men in America, offered President a lifeline. Carnegie would help donate $100,000 to the school to help rebuild. This generous donation came with a catch, though. Carnegie would only donate the money if the school could raise $40,000 from the community and $100,000 from outside the community. If done, the $140,000 combined with Carnegie's $100,000 and the insurance company's $60,000 policy would be enough to save the school. But raising the money wasn't enough. The money also had to be raised by February 21st, giving the school only 72 days to raise $140,000. With the clock started, President Holden got to work. Holden sent letters to business leaders, alumni, local businesses, and community members begging for help. The donations quickly became pouring in. Following the commitment by Andrew Carnegie, donations from business leaders like Louis Severance, treasurer of Standard Oil and dedicated Presbyterian, donated $65,000. And after the donation, he joined the board of trustees, where over the course of 13 years donated nearly $500,000 to the school. But it wasn't only business leaders who pitched in to help. Alumni also donated in droves, remembering the college and deciding to help in its time of need. Together, the combination of outside businesses, wealthy benefactors, and alumni, Andrew Carnegie's donation goal of $100,000 from outside the community was met. The Worcester Board of Trade donated $15,000 to help meet Carnegie's goal. That, along with local Worcester companies like the Worcester Brush Company and churches like St. Mary's, the community came together to fundraise. Understanding the importance of the college both as an important piece of the town's economy and as an essential piece of the town's community, to raise the money they threw a jubilee to meet the $40,000 requirement for the community. Together, they were able to raise the required funds, and with the support from outside the community, President Holden was able to raise the money required for Andrew Carnegie's donation. The College of Wooster was able to survive, cushioned by the support from the community, both local and national, which it served.
So where did the money go? As mentioned before, the fire of Old Main was a devastation to the college's spirit and functionality. In the process of the fire, the school's chemistry labs, all of their classrooms, and professors' offices, along with their personal research, were destroyed. Considering adjustment for inflation in modern dollars, the $200,000 goal would be equivalent to $6.1 million today. The college had just enough funds to get itself back on its feet. Starting their construction in the spring of 1902, Wooster initiated 5 building projects on the campus and dedicated them all to the college a year after the Old Main fire. On top of the grounds that Old Main once stood, Cock Hall now houses the Humanities and Languages of Wooster. South of the Cock Hall Arch is Severance Hall, the current chemistry building for the college. Directly across from Severance, you can find Scoville, which now houses the Department of Philosophy and classes for natural sciences. Taylor now houses the STEM departments of Worcester College and can be found east of McGaw Chapel. All the buildings were constructed with the same collegiate Gothic/Jacobean architecture to provide the cohesive feel to the campus that is now signature to the college's identity. It is easy to forget about the events of the past that no longer inconvenience us. Almost a dozen decades have passed since the burning of Old Main, and while you would be hard-pressed to find a student consider its impact on them today, it is undeniable that the campus would not be what we experience it as in our daily lives. From the languages we learned to speak in Cock, to the unpacking of the earth and philosophies in Scoville, to the hypothesis of nature formed in Severance, and to the future of technology being chased after in Taylor, Worcester has been learning in advance and study in these buildings for 120 years now. All of it could have never been had it not been for the faithful help of President Holden, a steel tycoon in a small town in the middle of Ohio.